Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Jag from Joan Stark. Okay, so this is a neat one, and it starts off. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. It starts off basically like with a teardrop shape, or one could say tethered orb, meaning I'm tethering it right here, and then I'm coming down, going around like as if I'm drawing an orb, but it's been tethered up here, so like it's like a drip. It works, right? Okay, and then from this point we're going to do some, well, zigzagging really. And let's see, I'm looking at something. Okay. So here's what I decided to do with this in looking at Joan's step out. So I'm doing one side at a time. And so I'm coming up, it doesn't have to be from the center, just like a little off from the center, starting basically just a zigzag. Although it does seem to work if you angle it a certain way. I don't know. This is one of those, in the end, it doesn't matter, right? And then at the top is where I have a bit of a challenge. So I'm just, finishing it with leaving my little zigzag like so. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Even on this, it's like I still have trouble doing reverse. And I'm trying to get a little bit smaller. Okay, yeah, that's interesting looking. All right. So like this. And I will tell you, like everything Zentangle, it doesn't matter. How I'm looking at it going, it doesn't matter. Trust me, you will see. So then after this, what we're going to do is we're just going to fill in on, from the zigzag to the outer part of our teardrop type shape. Now, this is where my favorite course correction comes into play. And while you're filling it in, if you need to kind of shift something a little bit, like so, let me see if I find it. For instance, well, I'm going to for instance it for sure up here at the top, because I'm never anything but completely honest. And it's like, let's say, when you say, oh, being completely honest, it's like, well, does that mean you were lying before? No. So then when I say, I learned that once, I'm like, so I try never to say that, because I am always. I didn't know what to do with the top, quite frankly. So this is where it's kind of like, well, at the top, we can just kind of, fill it in and, just like that. Actually, let me make it, I'm going to make it more of a, oh, there we go. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the right word is there. So it just looks finished. It could be, a little long, where this part just kind of goes up a little bit more. In the end, as you know, I just said it. It doesn't matter. In Joan's step out, she kind of did all of the zigzaggy part as one step. I just separated it out because I needed to for me, so I separated that out, and I separated something else. Now I don't remember because I'm not looking at it. All right. So then, you can take a look and say, okay, well, where do I need, like, this is kind of interesting. So I'm just going to make that point a little bit better. Then maybe up here, and maybe you want to have the top, well, that would look probably kind of nice, right? Let's just fill that all in. It's still a little goofy, but it's okay. And that's what I mean about, just leaving the tip, and then just, if you look at the samples that Joan has on the For More Inspiration link, because it kind of, well, they're all kind of different as I'm looking at it. So again, I'm going to stick with it. It doesn't matter. It could, like I said, it could come up to like a point sort of aura-ing, but it's hard to do that when you're doing this zigzag. And then the last two steps, to me, it's just like if you've watched any of my videos, or if you've been on my Tangle Times, you know that the line dot dot is my favoriteest thing in the world to do. It like saves things, and it's just remarkable. I need to do a video just on the line dot dot, so that way I can direct to it. But in the same spirit, here's what I'm going to do: is I'm going to just draw a line up the center. This is the next step. Whoops. And I'm adding a little curve to it because that adds a little character. And then, let's see, which way do I want to have these going? We're just going to have them go up. And then it's just, I'm using, let's see, the nib. You can't, I should compare this. I'll have to take a close-up picture. I think I've almost got the nib of this worn down to nothing. And we're just going to draw like straight lines, curved-ish lines up the center, random. It's all okay. And then it's like, then I shut my eyes from it and I look like, hey, look at how neat that looks. It's awesome. Then you can have some fun. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some, this is our shading part. And I just put some graphite right up the center. Spread it out a little bit. That's of course an up to you and the size of of your jag. But it looks neat. Could even, let's just see what it does. I'm just adding some, oh yes, some to just to these little tips, just a little bit. And you have to be careful if you do this right after you've inked it, because if you're working on a Zentangle tile, because they're a cotton tile, sometimes you end up picking up some of the tile fibers and the ink as well. So it's like, oh, just be very, very, very cautious. But look at how that just came to life a little bit. And then you could always, and this is what I was going to do, is I'm going to, put one behind, and I'll probably finish this after. That turned out interesting. Oh, let's start here. And sometimes doing it in two halves is fine too. I was almost going to do that on my step out just because I had a heck of a time doing this kind of a shape myself. So if you need to do it in two sections, do half and then half, and then just meet in the middle. If you've done the Tangle poke leaf, it'd be similar to that, except you're meeting in the middle versus meeting just coming to the lines that create the stem, if you will. And I do have a video on that one, so do take a look. All right, so I'm going to finish these ones on my own, but this is something that you could put many of them together. You could pair it with several of the more flower type tangles. I'm thinking Diva Dance, and actually, because when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that would be lovely with that. And when you go to the For More Inspiration link and then scroll down below Joan's step out, she shows it, and I see a Diva Dance there, and I think we've done. I'll have to look and see, because some of these other tangles, and I think they're listed somewhere, and if not, it's one of those like, ooh, I'm gonna have to find them all. But it could look really, really neat. So with that, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share it, and also if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, would love to have you be a subscriber. Subscribing to the channel is of course free. Below, in the description section below the step outs, ways to connect with me. So if you enjoy this, if you like my goofy style, I would love to have you join me on a Tangle Time. I do classes every week. Most of them are free. Some of them are paid, because I have to be able to afford to do the free ones. So I appreciate all that come to the paid classes, and especially those that are part of my membership club, my Tangle Addicts Club. And I'll let you know at the time of this recording. Do take a look, because I have a kind of a special offer that I've been running for a while now. But it's going to come to a close at the end of April. No, sorry, end of May. I'm giving myself a little extra time, and yeah, do take a look. So if you're interested, if you like my style and enjoy it, know that you'll be taking lots of classes um, and stuff. It'd be, or at least a once a month paid class. It'd be worth your while. Anyway, enough of my spiel. Thanks again for watching. Oh, one other thought / tip. You could. I'm adding this too because I just saw it sitting there and it screamed to me, "Use me, use me!" So I am. Oh, how do I not have a tortillon, especially for green? I probably do somewhere. It is just hiding. So we will use this one. If you use the chalk pencils, you could color the whole thing in and still use the graphite, but sometimes it's fun just to have this little hint of color in there. Anyway, like I said, I saw that, it screamed to me, and so I must listen when it does that. All right. Thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you lots of happy tangling.